Welcome to the 10th episode of the Hindsight and Hot-takes podcast. I'm your host, Connor Justclair. I'm joined today once again by award-winning sports writer Brogan Burns. I'm also joined today by a new guest, current KNSU TV station manager, Shamar Moses. Today, we'll put Brogan and Shamar's sports knowledge to the test and figure out if they know their sports terminology in today's new segment, Are You Smarter Than an Athlete?
Weird words flying, what do they mean? Fouls and moves in a game run street. Yelling phrases absurd and wild. Makes no sense, but we're beguiled.
Alright, before we get started, I would like to ask both of our guests today to tell us a little bit about yourself. Brogan, you first.
Hello, I'm Brogan Burns. I've been a writer at the Nicholsworth on Nicholls State University's campus for 4 years, and I've won one award.
Can you tell us a little bit about that award?
So I won an award for an on-site sports writing competition at the Southeastern Journalism Conference in Mississippi State in January of this year.
And what was that story for?
I wrote it on the basketball game they had between Mississippi State and Missouri, and I'm better than everyone else, obviously.
Okay. And then same question to you, Shamar.
Hi, I'm Shamar Moses. I'm the KNSU TV station manager. I've been in that position for the last year. I also write some sports stories for the Home of Times and do some shot sheet writing for WGNO on Friday nights. Just like Brogan, I won an award. Not as good at SEJC in Mississippi in January. On-site competition, third place for sports broadcasting on rock climbing. So that was very interesting.
All right. So, we'll move on to our first question of the day. It's going to be a very easy one. If y'all had to describe what a home run was, what would y'all say? Shamar, you first.
When I think of a home run, I'm gonna step aside on this one. But when I think of a home run, I think of just knocking the ball out the park. When I hear home run, how can I put this in simple terms? Just getting back to home plate off one hit. That's a home run. How that sounds?
Perfect. Brogan?
Now I'm going to go a very different route and say a home run is the greatest feeling in all of sports. It's that moment where you in the pitcher, the batter in the pitcher, and the batter absolutely demolishes the pitcher.
Oh.
That's one thing in sports where you could say you 100% owned the pitcher.
Yeah, that pitcher is your child at that point.
At that point.
That's your son.
What if it's, you do that and you help your team win the game? How does that feel? You own the game.
You won the game yourself.
And
yes.
you own the game now.
Speechless. You left them speechless.
Exactly.
All right. In both of y'all times, have y'all witnessed any cool home runs?
I witnessed Christian Encarnacion Strand's first home run ever
For the Reds?
Yep.
Very upcoming prospect for the Reds.
Knocked that ball out of there.
Out of there, right? For me, no, not at the professional level. I mean, I've seen many home runs from college and, high school.
Yep.
Which is, it doesn't really matter the level. It's still big, and that's the outcome people want. And, as fans, you can feel that energy, especially when it's the team you're rooting for.
Exactly.
The other team is demoralizing, to say the least. So, I guess I can say, yeah.
I feel like especially in baseball, it's such a major switch.
Yeah.
You could be no momentum the whole game. A dude comes up,
and
hits a 2-3 run home run.
Yes.
The momentum of that game completely switched.
Yes.
It's unlike, basketball or football where you could say a touchdown.
Yeah.
Obviously in football that could happen, or a 3-pointer that could happen, but at the end of the day it's just 3 or 7 points.
Exactly.
Baseball and, it's such a close game. If you hit a 2 or 3 run home run, you could totally switch the outcome of the game.
Yes.
Okay. So, for our next question, we'll get a little bit tougher. What does it mean to posterize somebody?
Well, if you don't know, let me say for people out there that don't know, just go look at Shaquille O'Neal posterizing people. Posterizing, I would say, is the 4 or the 5 in basketball. Power forward or center most of the times. In the box or on the box. backing down someone, back down dribble. They're using their size as their advantage to either lay it up, dunk, or even fade away. So it's a very physical position you would take, as a basketball player. It's mostly coming from centers and power forwards, like I said, backing someone down and using their size as their advantage to score a bucket.
Brogan?
It's just to be embarrassed. That's what it is. You don't want to be on the receiving end of a posterizing dunk.
Mm-mm.
You're under that rim. You're getting clowned on the rest of the season, basically.
I've seen moments where a guy gets posterized and his whole career gets changed.
That's all anyone cares about after that.
Yeah.
You don't know him for anything else.
No.
And in basketball,
Ty Lue.
Yep,
He got stepped over
Stepped
one time,
over.
and that's his career.
that's what he's known for. I mean, that's interesting too in basketball. You get posterized once, you're forever known as the guy that got dunked on.
You're put on a poster.
Yes, and I feel like posterizing, there's really no, limits for it. You've just been posterized, Like, you're posterized. That's it.
All right. Now, we'll move on to a little bit of a harder question. Brogan, because you know baseball, this question will go to you. If you have to say what a farm system is, how would you say it?
It's every level of a baseball organization put together. You got your MLB, that's what everybody watches.
Yep.
Then under that is your minor league, which is your farm system. You got your AAA, your AA, your single A, and whatever other leagues there are, that's where your team comes from. Those are your prospects. That's your pool.
And you followed baseball for a good bit now. Is there one prospect that you kind of, right when he was drafted to your team, that you followed throughout the farm system process?
I guess I'd say Ellie De La Cruz.
One of the highest prospects ever to go to the Reds. All right. And then, Shamar, now to you.
Mm-hmm.
Your term. If you had to say what a ball hawk means, what does that mean in terms of football?
I mean, that's a self-explanatory type of thing there. Ball hawk. In football, most of the times, it's either some defensive back, particularly a safety. Ball hawks, I mean, a dude that can straight out fly and always is around the ball from interceptions, DBUs. And also, see, a lot of people misinterpret ball hawks because they think the ball has to be in the air. Not the case.
Not the case.
Ball hawks also come down in the box and make tackles. That's a real strong safety.
Okay.
You have people like Tyrann Mathieu in his prime.
Yep.
He's a ball hawk, but he's also a thumper. Come down, but to complete the ball hawk title, you have to be able to tackle. But most times people see ball hawks as, this guy that just flies around sideline to sideline making plays, interceptions, pass breakups, and everything in between. And just so you have a ball hawk on your team, makes your team so much better because you have that back end solidify. You have a dude that's going to go sideline to sideline, and that makes a good defense.
And then growing up, was there any ball hawk that you either played with or grew up watching?
I grew up with a lot. I mean, we all consider it. Everyone wants to be that ball hawk. And I mean, my definition of, who I would say is a ball hawk, someone else may not.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, guys like Tyrann Mathieu, I definitely did always follow since he was at, I'm blanking right now, in high school, let's say that.
St. Aug, right?
At St. Aug. I was about to say Romo. At St. Aug until when he got to LSU and eventually going to Houston. That dude, he was small in size, but he was exactly what we're talking about, a ball hawk. He played above his size.
Sideline to sideline.
Oh, my
type
God.
player.
And he can straight out fly. See, that's another thing. As a ball hawk, you have to have speed, bro. Yes.
And you think he encapsulated that perfectly?
Yes, he did. I mean, it's time now for him to maybe start calling it a career, but he's there.
He served this time as a ball hawk in the NFL.
Yes. He's a Super Bowl champion, so.
All right, that's all we have for today's episode. I would like to thank Brogan and Shamar for joining the show today. Is there anything else y'all would like to say before we end today's episode?
Go Colonels!
Brogan?
Garrett Nussmeier better be good this year.
All right, that's all we have for today's episode. I would like to thank Brogan and Shamar for joining the show today. I would like to also thank our viewers for tuning in. Please leave a like and comment your thoughts below.
Hindsight's got the view, hot takes cutting through. Join us next time, my friend, where the shouting never ends.